This is Michael Peters again. I just want to say one other thing about this lie perpetrated by Dr. Dreyer. And I'm not going to go over the whole thing again, but you know this is her lab result. Okay, this lab result came out it was printed out or documented 10/24/12. For some reason I can't. Right here, 10/24/12. Can't see my finger. Right there. 10/24/12 at 9:12 a.m. Well, we were the first ones at the hospital, as I was saying, because of the Astro game. Our scheduled appointment was 8:15, but obviously we didn't see Dr. Dreyer until after 9:12 because the lab results had to be printed because Dr. Dreyer and me sat in the examination room and she was going through this. So how is it that Dr. Dreyer was able to print tell her lie in the medical record on 10/24/2010 at 8:45 a.m.? How did she end up saying that I told her at 8:45 a.m. that I didn't give my son one of his meds for 1 month out of 2 months I had him? And already open up the medical tablet to document this. Now, these are documented with encounter numbers. They cannot be changed. Even if they were to change it, they couldn't delete anything. These will always be the same. I have my doubts over at Texas Children's Hospital about that, but it's at least documented in these hard copies. Now, these lab results are given to parents at the end during your appointment time. That's when we're in the little room and we wait on these lab results. And doctor gets the lab results and she writes her little notes on there. This is her handwriting. Well, how 30 minutes before did she already come up with this lie that she told? 30 minutes before I even saw her, she had made her conclusion because she was talking with Mital Brahmbatt, who gave a picture of my wife with a bruise, who we didn't even see each other because we were separated. There's no police reports or any other reports saying I assaulted my wife or gave her a bruise. Just a fabrication that her immigration lawyer said, you need to give this to the doctor. You can get full custody, plus, you know, you can get a shelter, you can get money from the government, you can get your green card if you have violence. And that's the law. But she didn't, she even asked CPS for help. But CPS refused to help. They didn't see any medical neglect. And I haven't been arrested for any kind of assault on my wife. We were married 8 years. There was none of that. This is simply to get money for her green card. Get the money that I gave her $3,000 a month when I worked in Iraq, and the rest of it I bought the land and was building a house, putting a well and septic and $30,000 in fence. There's my life savings. Dalton's future, 5 1/4 acres out in Hockley, Texas, so we could have some fresh air and good schools. She sold out her own daughter, who just turned 16, only 16 in 3 weeks, and let her get married. My wife's had a brain tumor removed since this has happened. And she's taking care of my son. But since Dr. Dreyer's lie, my son will be back at the this trailer park. This is where they came, where she was living before. That's all she could afford. Now my life savings are gone. I'm at the mercy of other people. My son's stolen from me through Dr. ZoAnn Dreyer's lie. There's a good reason she's not suing me for calling her a fraud and liar in front of the Texas Children's Hospital. Many of you remember me out there for 2.5 months, passing out flyers saying, do you want this doctor tampering with your child's medical record? Texas Children's Hospital covers up for fraud and liars. Now, I hate saying things like that, but it's true. If it wasn't true, they could sue me. No one, you're not going to tell me that these people are just so nice. If we would, they don't want to sue me. If we went to trial, it's going to be a big meter hype. Everybody knows it. All this evidence is going to come out. Very damning evidence. It's impossible for me to tell Dr. Dreyer that I didn't give my son one of his meds for 1 month out of 2 months I had him, 30 minutes before I even see her. It's impossible. It's the same reason they didn't sue me. It's the same reason why CPS, why the social worker, the nurse, and everybody goes against it. All Dr. Dreyer has to say is that I told her that. Yet his lab results are up. I picked up the medicine 3 times, and they steal my son through that. God put this in my hand. I knew it was important. I will be seeing my son again. But I'm still just a little man. This has to come out publicly. Texas Children's Hospital and Baylor College of Medicine, where Dr. ZoAnn Dreyer is employed, needs to make it right. You don't steal children with cancer from their fathers just because you have some crazy doctor who wants to lie in the medical reports. Who would have ever thought that you people were that corrupt, that you would do that, stoop that low? You're hurting the people that you're trying to help. Children with cancer. You ought to be ashamed of yourselves. You reap what you sow. I pray that anybody who cares about children with cancer, losing their father through a lie in the medical records, that's proven very easily because she did it before I even saw her. Nothing makes sense. Lab results, CPS closed the case. Dr. Dreyer reported medical neglect within 24 hours that I took him from school. I took him straight from school, straight to the Texas Children's Hospital, got his meds, took him home. Yet there's your medical neglect. I signed him out in the school papers to the hospital. What was this doctor doing? What was she thinking? She's done this to John Calderon. Mital, Brahmbatt, another social worker, and Dr. Dreyer are in the emails posted on YouTube. The same 2 players. It's a no-brainer. It's just a matter of when people, after seeing this evidence, will help us. God will choose who will help us. But there's somebody out there. There's somebody out there I'm sure God's talking to, bigger than me. We're waiting, my son and I. The evidence is here. I don't believe Baylor College of Medicine or Texas Children's Hospital are going to come forward. I believe they still want to cover this up because a lawsuit against them would be devastating, not to mention the bad publicity in press that they would be getting all over the country. I never wish this for Texas Children's Hospital or Baylor. But Dr. Dreyer should have left this up to the courts to decide, instead of taking matters in her own hands, and Mital, Brahmbatt as well. You two guys have done this to John Calderon and God knows how many other people. Lives you're ruining. How many other children have you made parentless? I feel sorry for the both of you. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should come forward and tell the truth. Do the right thing. My son needs his father. God bless you all for listening to this video. Thank you very much.